Kass, how are
Hi.
you?
I'm fine. I'm great.
It's so great to chat to you. I know usually when we do these chats, it's straight after your episode has gone to air, but you've had a little bit more time to process, what happened. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm great. It like actually I was on vacation, so I had to process my elimination in vacation, so it wasn't that bad. But yes, it was a great episode. Like I was happy to leave on such an iconic episode.
I know if you want to go out, you want to go out with a bang, and that was a very memorable episode.
Exactly. We will remember it.
It was such a whirlwind. It had been totally crazy, and then Parvati gets out that parchment. Can you take me back to that moment?
That was just crazy. Everything was crazy about that tribal. From the moment that Tommy and I start whispering and that party was like, okay, red flag, red flag, red flag, something's going on. Everything between that is like just a blurry, crazy moment. So yes, when she took out that parchment, and just before that, like I was 100% sure that the votes were on Lisa. I knew that Parvati didn't trust Lisa. I knew that Luke didn't want to play with Lisa. So it really made sense in my head that all of those people, Parvati shifting the plan and everything, that the votes were going to be on Lisa. So yeah, that's what I thought at the moment.
Why was it important to you to salvage that relationship and to save Lisa essentially?
Actually, playing that idol for Lisa had a double purpose. It was yes to save an ally that would help me to get further in the game. That's my dog. So yeah, it was to like save an ally that would help me get further in the game. I didn't know at that moment that she wasn't my ally anymore. Sad. But also to make a big move. Like I came in this special season of Survivor telling myself that I would play a bold game, and playing that idol at that moment, if it would have worked, Luke would have been gone and this would have been gold on my resume. So it was both to save an ally, and I knew at that time that I needed ally to go further in the game because I knew my bridges were burned with Parvati and Suri. I knew that my bridges were burned with the Aussie. So like the only thing I had really like I thought was Lisa and Tommy. So I was trying to save that pink international alliance, and I was trying to do a bold big move by eliminating Luke.
Yeah, wow. So you knew you basically needed the internationals to get to the end. And I guess were you just banking on saving Lisa, having your international alliance, and then also being able to win your way through challenges to the end?
Yes, exactly. For me, the best scenario possible would have been to go to final or close to the final, as close as possible with Tommy and Lisa, because I knew that if I would be sitting at the end with a Aussie, probably that the Aussie in the jury would have some preference for this people that is coming from their country, and that would be like logical. And if I would sit with an American, like there are such big legend of Survivor, and their storytelling, their background is already speaking for themselves. So I knew that I had to have big moves on my resume. So it would have been easier to go as close as possible to the final with Lisa and Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, if you're going to go out, you go out with a bang, and you've been at the end before. So, you wanted to get there with a winning resume.
Totally. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. No way I was like going again in final with nothing on my resume. No way.
Tell me about the challenges because obviously you are such a huge challenge threat, and we saw you and Parvati both incredibly strong in challenges. How did the challenges compare to Survivor Quebec?
It's actually really similar. Like the that freaking challenge under the water. Like, oh no, I hate this one. But like it's pretty similar. We also had a lot of endurance challenges in Survivor Quebec. And that's when I realized that this is my strength. Like I really do perform really well in endurance challenges. So yes, it's kind of similar, and like I loved those showdowns with Parvati on this season. Like for me it was one of the greatest moments of the game. Like competing against one of the best Survivor players. I think we can say now she's the best Survivor player of all time. So competing against her and just like going toe to toe with her, like it was epic.
Yeah, I loved that. And I was going to ask about that because, she really is someone who, over her entire Survivor career, she has proven herself as a huge threat in endurance challenges, but you were right there with her. So it was really fun to watch.
I would have won that final challenge.
You'll have to play again and see.
I have to.
Tell me about the moment you got the phone call to play Australia versus the world. Were you expecting that in any way?
Oh my God, not at all. Like I barely like I knew Australian Survivor from name. We were talking about it on in my season, like the Superfan were talking about Australian Survivor as one of the greatest edition in the world, even better now than the US. And I was like, okay, there's this thing called Australian Survivor. And when I got the call from the production of Survivor Quebec, like telling myself, oh, there's maybe an opportunity with Australian Survivor, I just like my brain went stop and I was like, what? Australian Survivor? What do you mean? And yeah, so I had like the Zoom meeting for the this season, and I was like, no way I'm gonna be taken. Like there's so many survivors in the world, there's so many Survivor players, like why me? But at the same time, I was like, I was like 1 week after that, I was gonna watch myself lose on TV. So I was like, bring me back in any plane. I'm ready to play again. So that was just a perfect timing for me. And so, yeah, I made the World Tribe and it was completely crazy. I didn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. And I think I still don't believe it. I did take part to that. Like, I don't believe it.
That's really interesting that it was the timing of it was just a week out from when your episode where you were going to see yourself lose at
Yeah.
the finals go to
Yeah.
air. So, you had a chance to try again.
Yes, redemption. I didn't have my redemption. I have to come back a third time.
How much did you know about Australian Survivor? Obviously, you said that there were super fans that were talking about it as an addition, but I guess did you, going into the game, did you do a bit of research? Were you familiar with any of the Australian Survivor players?
Of course, I did my homework. So before coming to the game, like I watched as many Australian season as I could. So out of the 7 players, I knew like 6 of them. There's only Sarah. I haven't watched her season, so I didn't know Sarah. But people told me early in the game, like I think it was Lisa. She told us that Sarah is also a super fan. So I had a good idea of who I was competing against.
Yeah, and who were you most excited to see? Or who were you most wary of?
What does wary means?
Oh, so like who were you most worried about? Like thought that they would be
Okay.
quite dangerous.
Yes, 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 yes. So I was excited to see Shani because Shani is one of my favorite Australian player. I mean, she's just that bold character and I love everything about her. So I was really happy to have the chance to play with her and meet her. And the person I was most
Wary. You can say who
wary.
do you think would be most dangerous?
Okay, so the most dangerous for me was David. David is such a great, fierce player. So I was really afraid to compete against him. So I understood in a way it was okay that he was out before the merge. And also Kirby. Kirby is like, I saw her season and I was like, oh my God, she has that godmother vibe. And when Kirby is looking at you in the eyes, you're like, you just want to say like, yes, ma'am. Like she's intimidating, but she's such a great player. So I was really worried about like Kirby also. So I worked a lot on that Kirby elimination also.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so I heard somewhere you wanted to play with George. Is
Yeah,
that true?
Yes, Jordan and Shawnee, actually, they were both of my favorite players because of their character. They're so bold, they're so funny, they're so funky, and they play like 100%. Like I just wanted to play with both of those players. And George, unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to get to know him, but I heard him when he was talking to us during the challenge, and I was like, oh my God, okay, he's even much of a character than I thought.
That would have been really fun to see you play with George and Shonny. So, talk me through. Obviously, Jonathan mentioned there is a language barrier. Playing this game in a second language, tell me about that experience. How did it affect your game?
Oh, that's so hard because Survivor is a game that relies a lot on social skills, and social skills rely on communication. So that's really hard to play in another language. Before coming into the game, I had like 4 months, I think, to prepare myself between both of my seasons. That's completely crazy. So I spent much of my time practicing my English. Like I listened to TV show in English, podcast in English. I was reading in English. Like I was trying to think in English. And even then, you arrive on the island, your English is pretty fine. You're able to connect with other people. But as the day goes by, you realize quickly that your brain, to function well, needs food, needs sleep, and when you don't have that, second languages are not a priority for your brain. So each day, Tommy and I would compare our English after Confess, and we were like, oh my God, it's getting always worse. So that was really, really tough. And I think that you have to work twice as hard as anybody else on this island, because when you're talking to people, you have to like translate in your head what you're going to say, and you have to translate in your head what they're trying to say to you. So like it's such a hard part to play in another language.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And I mean, you've got obviously strategizing, socializing, you're interviewed, you've got tribal councils that go for a long time where, that's late at night as well. So you did such an amazing job to be able to play as well as you did.
Thank you. Yes, and I remember like that last tribal council, when everything was crazy. I do remember like Tommy and I, we were trying to defend ourselves with Parvati and Suri. And Suri was telling us like, but she was telling us like, you're telling me the same story in different words. And we were like, it's not because we're lying. It's because we do what we can with the words we have on the moment. Like, it was crazy. We were accused of lying because we were not using the same words twice to relay the same, to tell the same story. But we were like, it's not because we're lying. We're just trying to use English as best as we can.
Oh, wow. That's so hard, especially when you're put on the spot like that and
Yeah.
everyone's sort of, everyone's head is
Yes.
spinning. Culturally, did you notice anything different in terms of the way Australians play or the way different people play from around the world?
Actually, what I thought was interesting about our way of playing the game, I did think that international we played a similar kind of game. Like we were able to really be world strong for a long time compared to the Aussie who just like gun each other from the beginning. I think like just the Aussie are play a crazier game like than everyone else in the world, because we were all on the same page, like world tribe, the American, like New Zealand, Quebec, Finland, we play a similar kind of game. We were able to stick together really long in this short game, but the Aussie, like it was just crazy. The alliances were always shifting, so it was really hard to follow. So yeah, I think there's a distinction between how the world is playing and how Aussie is playing the game.
The Aussies went hard.
Yes.
I'd love to get to some quick fire questions. What is a better feeling, winning individual immunity, finding an idol, or pulling off a blindside?
For me, for the competitive person that I am, winning in individual immunity.
Yeah. Who is the player with the most annoying habit in camp this season, and what was it?
Okay, we didn't see that on the show, but Tommy is talking a lot. Like a lot. You're at camp at night and like you're really sleepy. You want to try to sleep, and there's just Tommy that goes like blah 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 nonstop. I love Tommy to death. Like he's talking a lot.
You know, you're not actually the first person to say that.
I'm not surprised.
Who are you most starstruck by?
I'm not starstruck. Like I'm not like I don't have a groupie bone in me, and I think that's what like allow me to just keep calm and like treat all the players on the same level. For me, it was just like people on an island, but I have to admit that like when I started to listen to Survivor, it was like Parvati, Siri, and Tony on TV. So of course, there's like this emotional connection related to those particular player, but not to put them on a pedestal in a game like Survivor.
Yeah, well, that's probably why you played so well. You could, like, you know,
Yeah.
didn't lose your head. If you could be on any reality show, what would you be on? Big Brother, The Traitors, MasterChef, The Amazing Race, or I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
Okay, not Master Chef because like I cannot cook an egg. So really not Master Chef. I would say the traders. Like I love that subtlety of the game, and like it's also a game that relies on creating alliance, creating connection with people, lying. So yes, I would say the traders.
Yeah, I think you'd be great on that. Would you be a faithful or a traitor?
Oh my God. I would love to be a trader, of course, but oh my God, I would be like so transparent, I think, but like, no, I would love to be a trader, yes.
Kass, I mean, I have loved watching you play. I guess the only question I have to ask is, you know, do you still have some unfinished business? Do you want to play again?
Of course, I have unfinished business with the Aussie now. Like, I want to play again.
Well, we'd love to see you back. I know that there's been such an amazing reaction to you, and we've loved watching you. So thank you so much. It was great to chat.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.